Hi everyone, and welcome to my video where we're going to be going over some colors with CSS. So let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, let's first start with kind of a blank sheet here. And in order to get colors with CSS, there's really three ways to implement colors. The first is RGB, the second is hex, and the third is HSL. So keep in mind that with these values, you can also implement an alpha, which makes it more transparent or less transparent. So let's start with this example. So the things that you can use colors for example, setting the color of text. So you guys have seen me do this plenty of times already. Hello world. Um, Actually, let's do changed text color. And then div changed background color, and then div changed both. So let's give this a class, just color, or just text, class, just background, and then class both. Refresh our page here. And now let's implement the styles for these classes. So that just text. Let's change the color of this text to red. Just background color purple, and both. Change this to background color purple, color to gold. Or no, let's set this to gold and then purple. Save. And then here is the example of what happens when you change the colors like that. And I forget to mention, you can also specify the color on top of RGB, hex, and HSL. You can specify the color by the color name specifically, like how I did here. You can also set something like the border color. So let's set the border color of the both class to black border. And then we want to give it a specific width for the border. So let's do 1 pixel. Let's make it solid. Let's make it black. So here you can see, let me zoom in a bit more, that there's a black border around this. Now we can make this like 10 pixels. Now the pixel length or the pixel size is 10. And we can make this dashed. So, but anyway, the color here is black. Now we can change this to green. It doesn't matter. Let's change this back to 1. Zoom in. Now the other way to implement color is through RGB values. So here we can specify the RGB value, and what RGB stands for is red, green, and blue. So how much red do you want? How much green do you want? How much blue do you want? And these numbers are between 0 and 255. So like it can put 255 for red, so I want it to be fully red, fully green, and fully blue. Save that. And now the color changes to white. So let's say I want no blue, or no green and no blue, but full red. That means that this is going to be all red. And we can mix and match the colors. So this is more of a salmon color. I'm not really good with RGB values, so you can't really tell the difference, but just know that that changed. The other thing that you can do is add an A here. And what this does is it tells it how much transparency you want. So here we specify, and this is a value between 0 and 1. So if we put 1 here, you can see that it's fully opaque. And if we do 0, the text here is transparent. And if we do 0.5, kind of in the middle, whoop, messed that up. If we do 0.5, kind of in the middle, you can see that it's in the middle. And the same thing kind of applies with HSL. So let's now do HSL. So HSL. And what HSL stands for is hue, saturation, and lightness. So let's set this color up. So for HSL, the first value is between 0 and 359. So let's do 200. And what this signifies is a hue, so the color that you want. Starting at 0, I believe, is red. So let's just do red. The next one is a saturation. How saturated do you want it to be? So this value is a percentage. So let's set it to 50%. And the next one is lightness. So how light do you want it to be? Again, this is between 0 and 100 in percent. So let's do 50% here. So save. And you can see that maybe we should set the background color to that. Let's just mess with this one. Okay. So you can see that if I change this to 0, the saturation is fully gray. And you can see here that if I change it to 100, it's fully red. Now let's see what lightness does. So let's set the light to 100. You can see it's white. And then if it's 0%, it's black. So you can play with these colors pretty nicely. And like, let's say that we change this to, I don't know, 100. This should change the color. So right now it's green. And let's say 70 or 50. You know, you can make it look, you know, different than just a normal green color. And again, with HSL, you can apply the A for alpha. And then from 0 to 1, you give it a decimal of how much transparency you want. So let's save. And you can see that now it's 50% transparent. And for the third one, last but not least, let's do some hex values. So I'm not too familiar with, you know, the exact hex of stuff. I just know FF and 00. So, but I'm going to try and explain this to you guys in a way that maybe, you know, it's easy to understand. So the way that you specify hex values is with a hash sign. And then you give it 6 values. So I'm going to put a space right now between them just so you guys can see. But this right here, these 3, just like RGB, stands for red. I'm sorry, these 2. These right here stand for green, and these right here stand for blue. So let's remove the space now that we got that. So you can see here that if it's FFF, that means that FF is 255. And so all of these are 255, which makes the color white. So let's save that and refresh. And you can see that the color white is right here. So let's say that we did FF00FF. So this means that the red is 255 in hex value. The blue is 255, and the green is 0. And that gives us purple. And you can see here that, you know, if we do the color of RGB of 255, 0, and 255, and then save that, the text color will also be purple or pink, and you won't be able to see it anymore. So anyway, that is it for this video about colors. Hopefully this helped. If it did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.